Aloha and welcome back to Pineapple Tapava. Mahalo for joining us once again for another video. Today we are making some homemade beef stew. Now beef stew is a great dish for a cold night, and it's been raining in Hilo for the past week or so I figure make some. So you have here some locally grass-fed meat from Parker Ranch, which is about an hour away in Waimea. And they had some nice meat, so we figure take some home and make some stew. Super simple. We're gonna sear off our meat, making sure we are salting our beef on all sides and making sure it's salted throughout. Now, searing meat can seem a little intimidating because you're going for a nice brownness or golden brownness on the outsides of the meat. You are doing it on a medium to high heat, and you're not cooking it throughout. All you're doing is putting a little color on it, caramelizing the outside, and you're gonna set that aside after. It gives you more flavor, and it always, to me, always goes for a better presentation after your stew is cooked out. So searing meat can seem a little intimidating. You just gotta do it the right way. So the first way I would say is always do your meat in batches so that you don't create too much moisture in your pot to where it's gonna start releasing some of the juices. You want to make sure your heat is at a good temperature where it's actually gonna sear off your meat and not boil it. So by doing that, you're not gonna fully fill your pot with the meat. You're gonna make sure you have a one layer of meat that's going in. Having a good heavy bottom pot also helps. Like this one is a Dutch oven, so it retains the heat throughout the process. After we cook our meat, we're gonna go ahead and set that aside and cut our veggies. We're gonna cut up whatever onions we have inside the refrigerator, which is half a red onion, half a white onion. Use whatever you want, but that's what we had. Cutting up some carrots, potatoes, and celery. And for me, I don't really like the celery or onions too chunky. I kind of like it cooked out and cooked down for the flavor. The only thing I do like pretty chunky is the potatoes and carrots. So here we go, starting to cook our onions and celery in the drippings from the beef, which is going to give it even more flavor. The onions is going to release some of that bits and pieces from the bottom, which is really good. We're going to go ahead and throw in our meat, give it a mix, and then we're going to cover this with some water to simmer down and tenderize our meat. So we are going to throw in a couple bay leaves, then put the cover on, and we're going to let it go for about 20 minutes. After about 20 to 25 minutes, we're going to add in our garlic and check on the tenderness of our meat. Right now it should be about 3/4 way tender, which can use a little bit more time, which is the perfect time to add in the carrots. After we added the carrots for a few minutes, we're going to go ahead and put in our potatoes. Give it a stir again, and you can see how those onions and celery really broke down. At this point, we're going to add in our sauces and paste. So we use 1 can, I think it's about 15 to 16 ounces of tomato sauce. Same for the diced tomatoes, and then adding in about 3/4 way of tomato paste. That's gonna ensure that our stew is nice and thick. Our diced tomatoes is gonna make sure it's nice and chunky, giving it a nice texture. And then we're gonna finally finish that off until the veggies is tender. And then we're gonna give it a taste. It's that simple. We hope you folks give it a try. It's great for that comfort food or cold weather. And it always tastes best the next day, so leftovers is wanted. So we thank you for watching another video. We hope you folks have a great day. Sorry for the chickens in the background, but we will see you on the next. Mahalo.